Oh, come on. Come on, you piece of junk. Come on, start. Not again. Oh, let's see if the radio still works. Yeah, well, yeah, there's... Oh, that show Motor Mouse is on.
And good morning and welcome to your Motor Mouse Show, your SLO County Car Talk Show featuring Mr. Stop and Mr. Go. This is Jeff Spevack, Continental Motor Works, known as Mr. Go, for the next hour. Sitting next to me, Mr. Stop, Per Matheson. Good morning, Mr. Stop.
Yeah, but I'm only going to be here 55 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. You got me there.
Yeah, see that?
You got me there. It's no hour.
No.
It's actually 54 minutes now.
So, I mean, if they're going to call us, they ought to do that now, immediately, because, I mean, those 55 minutes, they go by, they fly.
So we are a live call-in car talk show. We like to talk about cars, and this show is, of course, so much more interesting when you call us. So we invite you to call us at 805-543-8830. That's 543-8830. So call us earlier in the show so we don't have to cut you off at the end of the show. And whatever you want to talk about, if you want to talk about a car story or a car problem you're having, or you've got a pet peeve about other drivers on the road, or you want to talk about the visibility out there that Matt and I are going to talk about today. If you have a warning light on or a funny noise or a relationship issue that you relate to your car, then call your Motor Mouse, 543-8830. Let's talk to Roy from Rio Grande. Good morning, Roy.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, haven't heard from you in a while. How are you?
Just great. So I have a question. Basically, it's about brakes, and I have had a number of cars that have had disc brakes in the front and drums in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wash my car myself about once a week, and almost as soon as I wash it and use it once or twice, and certainly after a week, the front rims are filthy, absolutely crusty, filthy with some sort of industrial crud, and I only can assume it's the brake linings. I'm wondering if using a different type of pad for the disc could cure that, because it's kind of a nuisance.
So if I understand you correctly, you wash your wheels and then you go drive the car and you notice they get dirty right away.
Immediately, yes.
Okay.
Only in the front, not in the back with the drum brakes.
Well, he probably has a Mercedes. Anyway, it is the material, the brake material.
Yeah.
The brake material you have on the car, they call the type of the friction material, they call that coefficient of friction. By all the words, it has to have a certain coefficient, or it has to have a certain stopping power at a certain amount of pressure.
Sure.
And if you are driving a car which has metallic brake pads, then they are very dirty. Now, you can go to what they call a ceramic brake pad, which is not as dirty.
Oh, good.
What kind of car do you have?
Actually, it's a Buick.
It's a Buick. All right.
But I've had a number of cars, maybe a dozen, all with the same problem.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the brake pads on the front.
And it is different with each formulation of brake pad.
Yeah.
You'll find that some cars won't dust that much, and other cars dust like mad.
It depends also on the wheels you have on the car, how much, which way the spokes on the wheel, or how it's opened, if it sucks air from the outside and in instead of from the inside out.
That's true.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Do you have the factory wheels on there, or do you have custom wheels on there?
No, it's factory stuff.
Yeah. So here's my opinion on it. If your car stops good,
yes,
and doesn't squeak when you stop, doesn't make noise, then I wouldn't mess with it. I would just clean it more often.
Well, how about
I know you're kind of a show car kind of guy, and you want your wheels to look good.
Yeah.
And
how about the next time I get brake pads? Can I specify ceramic?
Ceramic. You can try that.
I want a less dusty pad.
Yeah. The other thing is that,
but you may create a new problem.
Yeah, you might create a new problem is that you have to step on the brakes harder.
Or it may squeak, or it may, you may create by going to if your pads work good on your car, that means they're probably, the pad that was made for your type of vehicle. And when you start going to a different formulation or a pad and start messing with it, it may dust less, but it may make more noise, or it may vibrate a little more, or it may not stop as good, or maybe not.
Okay.
So
now, Mercedes came out with a shield that went between the wheel and the brake rotor. And that would keep the dust on the backside. But then you don't have the cooling of the brake.
Right.
And so they overheat.
Yeah, and then they warp the rotors. So it is this is a common problem that you're talking about. It's a good thing to talk about. So your choice is either just to clean your wheels more often.
I can hardly do that unless I do it every day. I'm always out there.
Or go to a different formulation of pad, and you can look up. You can go to the parts store, and they probably will have. There's so many different type of brake pads out there now.
Yeah, I know.
mean, you can get a I believe one of the higher line pads is called Akebono. You may want to write that down. Akebono.
Okay, I'll ask for that.
That's one of them that I think doesn't dust as much. Or you can just go to your Centric, write down the Centric brand, CENTRIC, and get the ceramic pad that Matt's talking about, which will be less expensive than probably half price of the Akebono. And they'll probably be good too. But make sure that you don't already have ceramic on your car. Find out what you got on there. Hey, do you think these are the original brakes, Roy?
Oh, no. The car has 90,000 on it.
Has this always been the case with your car?
Oh,
Well, it's been the case with all the cars I own.
Okay.
I own probably a dozen cars with.
You have another you have another choice. Take and find some shades that you can put on the bottom of your glasses if you wear glasses, so that you don't look so low. I mean, you look up higher on a nice shiny car, and the dirty wheels does not affect you anymore.
Yeah.
I thought, Matt, you said take it to a car wash.
So, Roy, are you the are you the only one that notices it, or do other people notice it too?
No, nobody's ever said anything to me, but I'm very meticulous about my cars.
Yeah, Roy needs a little brake dust therapy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I appreciate your advice, and I'll take it.
It's a good question,
Roy.
Let's put the question out there for other people and see what they've done. And Matt's answer was really good. They had a big brake dusting problem on a lot of different cars, and then they created these dust shields. And they worked, except then you had to replace the rotors because it overheated the brakes. So you don't want to. Not good. You don't want to do that. Yeah.
Can I ask Roy a question?
Sure, Jim.
No,
go ahead.
I'd rather deal with the dust than wear out the rotors. That's not good. Hey,
Roy,
appreciate your advice, guys.
Hang on, Roy.
Hold
Jim's
on,
got
Roy.
a question.
Okay, are they chrome rims, Roy?
No, they're probably.
Okay.
Alloy?
No, they're not chrome. I don't know what they are. They're probably magnesium. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're not chrome. It's not a steel rim, I don't believe.
Okay, because I was
an
going to
alloy
ask,
wheel of some kind.
the reason I asked that question, I was going to do a pat on the back for Supreme Automotive earlier.
Sure.
And the reason I asked that question is because I took my car in there to have the oil changed, and I couldn't get the car out of park again. I had a little problem with that. And they actually had the problem too when it got to the service area, which was good, actually. And what happened was just too much gunk down in there again. It's the floor shifter on my Dodge Magnum.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
You had Pepsi syndrome?
Yeah, Pepsi syndrome.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh.
So what happened was, they fixed that. They buffed my headlights, which they did fantastic on.
Nice.
It's like on their brand new headlights.
Yeah.
But I asked them, they also, without asking me, detailed my rims.
Wow.
And I have chrome rims on there.
Yeah.
And they did some sort of a wash on there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the kind of wash was.
Well, they do. There's products called Clean Wheels and things like that really clean them nicely.
But the reason I asked is because they said that this particular wash they did was specific for chrome rims. You can only use it on chrome. So that's why I was asking if maybe Roy had chrome rims, and but if he doesn't, then it probably won't work.
Yeah. Good point.
No, I have used a special mag rim cleaner liquid, but I made a mistake of leaving the plastic sensor caps on. That's the death to those caps.
Yeah.
Which are plastic.
That's what they said, is that you cannot use it on stuff that's not chrome.
Well, I learned that the expensive way.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing you can do about avoiding brake dusting is just don't hit your brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my wife accuses me of that a lot, so I try. Hey, I appreciate your show, guys. I don't want to tie up all day, but I do appreciate it very much.
Appreciate your phone call.
Sir.
And you're the first caller of the day, so stop by Continental Motor Works and pick up a premium, and we appreciate it, Roy.
And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to give Roy a real answer then, but I figured I'd ask if he had chrome rims or not. So
thanks, Roy.
Okay.
Have a good holiday. Thank you again for calling.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, Roy, any of you out there have encountered the problem with dusting of your wheels, and how do you deal with it? You know, this is a real common, it used to be that, Matt and I go back to let's say the 80s.
Yeah.
Everybody would say their brakes squeak.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was So it wasn't dust, it was brake squeak. Now it's brake dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the brakes, so you should be happy that if your brakes don't squeak, if they stop the car without vibration and they stop the car well, then I don't have a problem with brake dusting.
No.
But I understand if you want your car to look pristine, that you got to clean the wheels every day.
Yeah.
And that can become a problem. So, this has been a struggle for a lot of people for a long time.
Yeah. You need to come up with an easy wheel cleaning way.
Yeah.
Some sort of way that you can maybe take a garden hose and put into
Well, I mean, they do. They have this product called Clean Wheels, and you spray it on there, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
And that you don't have to wash them off or anything like that. You don't have to get the rest of the car wet and everything. But, but once again, I mean, every time he drives the car, it dusts, and so he has to clean it every time if he wants to have clean wheels. So I understand. That's why people in the old days used to have their car person,
Oh, yeah, sure.
You had the person that drove your car.
Yeah.
Your chauffeur took care of your car, too. So maybe Roy needs that.
And this next caller is our friend, Dale.
Hello,
Is this Dale? Is this Dale Price?
This is Dale Price from Hood River, Oregon.
Hi, Dale.
It's a radio station that gets all the way up to Oregon?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you should see the antenna that I put in my backyard.
Oh, they got the big antenna. I see. That's what it takes.
There you go. It works great. Hey, I got a question on wheels and tires.
Yes, sir.
When do I know when to put on my snow tires?
Ooh.
Up here in Oregon. Do I do what my neighbors do? Do I wait for the snow to fall and then go down to the tire place?
Well,
what do I do?
I know in Norway that happens. There's a certain date that you have to have snow tires.
It's regulated by
that. So if you have to find out in Oregon if they have a certain date by which you should have to have it. And if you have then studded tires, they are not allowed to drive in cities with the studded tires, and you are not allowed to drive in the summertime with a studded tire. And
this sounds what I would call like local knowledge.
Yeah.
So you got to go down, talk to the tire guys down there in Hood River, and they're going to know.
November.
November, right? No, this is November.
No, November 1st, you're allowed to drive with snow tires.
Oh, okay.
But there's no snow. It's cold, but there's no snow.
So tell us the ins and outs of that. Why would they don't want you to drive with snow tires all year round because it eats up the roads, right?
Well, that depends if they're studded or not. If they aren't studded, they want to drive. The studded tires are the ones that really tears up the road.
But you don't necessarily want to put your snow tires on until you need them because, you get less gas mileage, you got a noisier ride, et cetera, right?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
just been interesting because we walk the dog and walk the neighborhood and see people with stacks of tires in their garage. So I've asked, what are those tires? They go, those are my snow tires. I put those on, or take them to the tire store and they swap them out. You know, it's a completely different lifestyle. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's
they're kind of funny. In Norway, they have what they call tire hotels.
Oh.
So the tire dealers have a place. When you come in with the old tires in the spring,
they've got new tires.
They take and wash the tires. They wash the rims, put them in a bag, and then put them in storage.
Yeah.
And this is air-conditioned storage. And so then in the fall again, when you're going to put snow tires on, they will take and put them on, and then take and clean the tires that you have.
The tire hotel.
And it's a hotel. Well, it costs money. You can have 2 sets of tires for your car.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds like a new business for me.
So what do people... This is the type of thing you talk to your neighbors about. You talk to your tire shop about. You probably Google it a little bit. And everybody... And probably people do it at the last minute all the time, right? Right when the snow comes.
Hey, I'm looking at the picture.
I have that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture of your where you live, and it's taken from across the river, and you got the mountains in the background. Boy, is that a beautiful picture.
We're looking up 11 great riverfront towns, and Hood River is on that list.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's
there
amazing.
You go.
Great picture of Mount Hood in the back, too.
Tell us about it, Dale. How does it compare size-wise and living-wise to San Luis Obispo?
It's just like I would imagine that San Luis Obispo would have been back in the 60s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, okay. All right.
The maximum speed limit, which I loved in town, is 25 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
And it only changes to 40 when you're about a mile from town, kind of heading out to the garbage company or wherever it is that you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll go up to like 55 when you're headed into the mountains. And then immediately it'll say down to 10 because you're hitting on these little sharp turns. So it's a more low paces. It's like being downtown San Luis Obispo.
Yeah. Do they actually enforce the speed limit?
I'm thinking so because everybody drives 25.
People drive it, okay. And how about what kind of size is the town? How many? What's the population?
Population of the town is like 7,600.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. Well, I can understand then that it's.
Yeah.
There's outer areas. There's other little towns close by, like Parkdale, Odell, Troutdale.
Boy, there's a lot of Dales, aren't there? Dale must be fit.
That's why Dale moved up there.
Be fit right in. Yeah.
well, today, that's for sure. Today we're driving all the way to get this one, the Dalles.
Yeah. Okay.
Dale with 2 L's.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, and that's like 29 miles east. That's where the Home Depot is.
Isn't that on the Columbia River? Yeah.
Yes, right along the Columbia River.
Yeah, we've gone through it. Yeah.
There's a
there's
a McDonald's
you're going to the
there.
big city.
There's a AutoZone there. All of the big places are outside of Hood River.
So, what's the biggest thing that you like about it that you didn't get in San Luis, and what's the biggest thing you miss about San Luis?
Well, I don't. That's really interesting because we came back to San Luis about a month ago. And it was like I had never left.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd been gone for almost 4 months. But when I came back up here, it was like I'd never left.
Okay.
Again, it was like I lived here. Everybody's welcoming. You start to walk across the street. You're standing at a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stops.
It's great.
Every car stops. I mean, they just they hit their brakes really hard to let all the pedestrians across. Mm-hmm. San Luis is kind of like, you got to jet in between cars if you can. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice. There's crosswalks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting. When Dale came last time, we put him on the cooking barbecue for the Rotary barbecue, feeding the homeless. So he fit right in there. I mean, he was right on the barbecue pit and doing his job.
That's great.
Yeah, it was like that was December 7th. It was like I never left.
Yeah, right.
That was
great.
interesting.
That's great.
So they one of the things I miss, I guess, is they don't barbecue very much up here.
Yeah.
California
There's only
barbecues.
one barbecue restaurant where they actually serve barbecued steaks, and they barbecue them inside the restaurant, which is kind of neat. You can watch the guy cooking your dinner. But in this whole area, there's only one place that does that. They don't know what Santa Maria-style barbecue is at all. But there are a lot of people that know where San Luis is, and two of my neighbors actually went to Cal Poly. So they know where Jocko's is, and they know where the Donda Inn, and they know Tank Farm Road.
Well, Jocko's is no longer. Jocko's is no longer. That's tore down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jocko's is still there. Alex's.
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Jocko's is still there. Don't want to scare the people that work at Jocko's.
Nobody panic out there.
No.
Nobody panic out there. Jocko's, you can still get a steak at Jocko's. Everybody settle down.
Alex's barbecue is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, so Alex is the one that was
So
there.
Dale, are you fully retired now? Are you still working? I know you're a worker bee.
I'm a worker bee. I'm starting to build up my sharpening business. I've got what I call my studio in the backyard. It's about the same size as Larry's screen shop.
Okay.
And I've got that all set up, and there really is only one person that sharpens knives up here, and he has people bring them to the farmer's market on Saturdays.
Okay. So you got to making a little niche there for yourself.
Taking a little niche.
Yeah.
Yep. So it ought to work out.
But you can
And I'm in
take
no
and
hurry.
use it to store tires too. That place.
Yeah. Thinking about that. Yeah. We got plenty of the rental places like where you could rent a place like that and just put all kinds of tires in it.
That's right.
Rather than because everybody's got these stacks of tires in their garage.
Yeah.
And they're right in the. And they're heavy.
Right.
And they're all in these big yellow plastic.
So there's
bags.
another
That's
business.
right.
There's another business for you is to establish a tire hotel up there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tire hotel may be coming. I got a pretty good sized backyard. I'm going to line them all up back here.
Well, Dale, it's
My
good to
wife
hear
just
from
said
you.
No.
Yeah.
Give our
Hey,
best.
yeah,
Give our best to Smitty.
Yeah. I thank you for the email.
So okay, no problem.
Okay.
And I'll be seeing you semi-soon.
Okay.
All right, Dale. All the best. Thanks for checking in.
Okay.
All
See you
right.
guys.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see you later. All right. So Dale from American Muffler and Trailer Hitch checking in from Hood River, Oregon. Very nice phone call. So we're the Motor Mouse. We're Matt and Jeff. We're here till 9 a.m. to talk with you about your car or about anything about cars that you would like to discuss. You can reach us at 805-543-8830. We'll be back.
Got a classic commercial, Bob for Texaco Hope on here. Boy, it's been a while, huh?
Yeah.
So, going back to 1983 with the classic commercial from Texaco.
Introducing Star Power, a whole new word for the extra power you can get when Texaco Super Unleaded helps knock out the knocks. Compare a car knocking on regular unleaded fuel to the same car with Star Power. Star Power can help give you more car power. More power when you step on the gas, more power when you want to safely pass, more of the power you buy gasoline for. Try Texaco Super Unleaded and get Star Power for car power.
When it's time to service your car,
Or a warning light is starting to glow
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
at the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow.
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Here's some inside information to get your gas mileage back. Inside your engine, carbon builds up, clogging the injectors and combustion area. If you want your fuel system cleaned in just one tank of fuel, use what the inside car guys use most. It's called BG44K. In fact, service managers use it almost 3-to-1 over any other fuel system cleaner. To find a shop with BG products, go to bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
BG.
Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motor Works. What can you expect here at Continental? we will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motor Works at 541-1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
Oh Lord, I feel fine today. Walking on cloud nine today. I'm over that line today. Happiness is finally mine today.
I guess I'm just a lucky
Coming back a little Ray Charles here. Nice song.
I love it.
Tell you why.
Sweet potato pie for Thanksgiving.
Sweet potato pie. That's what that is. Ray Charles. And coming up, we'll talk a little bit about Thanksgiving coming up here this week. And if those of you that might be traveling and a little safety information for you. You know, both of us coming into work today had low visibility.
All of us did.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was saying,
sure.
yeah. It was low fog like they have in the valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what might you do? You get in your car in the morning, you start it up, you realize, hey, I've got poor visibility. What do you do?
Well, of course, I had to take and wipe off all the windows.
Yeah.
Because there was fogged up on the outside.
Okay, good.
So
That's number one.
and then of course, I got automatic running lights.
Yeah, so your lights are on.
So lights are on.
So you don't have to worry about that.
So I get down out of the canyon, get into Los Osos Valley Road, and I'm sitting waiting for traffic coming in from Los Osos. And most of these cars are coming in from Los Osos having headlights on.
Yeah, good.
But then you have a black truck coming up, number one.
That darn black truck.
A black truck, no lights.
Yeah.
I had
And
that.
then-
I had that through Edna
Sure.
Valley this morning too. Really
And,
bad.
you know, so driving from there to here,
Yeah.
I met 4 trucks, and none of them had headlights on.
So it's
and one SUV, one also black,
Yeah.
and you can't see them, especially with the older cars having lights on them. If nobody had lights on,
Got to have your lights on right
Yeah.
now. There's no visibility.
no.
Yeah, we got somebody calling in, which is nice. So you also want to know how to work your defroster properly, you know, to get your window going properly and have good visibility. You want to make sure your mirrors are set up properly because it's really poor visibility right now.
Oh yeah,
You don't see that far ahead. And then you want to get your head screwed on straight. You want to drive a little slower.
Yeah.
Because you can't see as well. So all of these things, lights on, wipers, you got whoa-ho. If you got your wipers on, you got to have your headlights on, and that's a state law. And you want to, work your heater system and defroster properly and just slow down a little bit and be a little bit more cautious because you can't see things as well.
Coming out of the canyon, because of the trees in the canyon is shade and then sunlight and the shade and the sunlight. And so, you don't see that well because of the mixture up. And so then people walking in the canyon, they have dark clothes on.
Yeah.
You don't see them. As a matter of fact, I came through a corner, and it was a person on the corner. I didn't see him until I passed him. So I turned around, went back up, and I told him, I said, I didn't see you. He says, that's all right. I said, no, that's all right.
I'm trying to tell you for a little education here.
Yeah, please.
Little FYI.
Well, I told him, I said, please have some lighter clothes on so I can see you.
Yeah.
And he got mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, you're just trying to. You're being nice.
Well, I wanted him to be safer because I mean, I'm not the only one guy that driving
so
that canyon.
I think cars, of course, have to have their headlights on. And bicyclists have to have lights on the front and the rear and have bright clothing on. But the same thing holds true for pedestrians. I don't think pedestrians are. They don't think about it. They don't think about it, and so you get. Number one, it's getting dark at 5, right?
You are sure? Yes.
So people walking home, you got to have either a little blinking light on, or I got a nice bright yellow jacket on when I'm riding, and you need to be visible.
I had that problem last night too with some people walking across the street and they were wearing black jackets.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah,
come on at night.
And people don't think about how dark it gets early. You think you're on your way home and it's 5 o'clock and you're not used to it. But these are things to pay attention to. For it only takes one bad situation to change your life.
Yeah. In Norway, of course, very dark. Gets dark about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's starting to get in southern part of Norway.
Yeah.
But when I got there for Christmas, the first thing they did was gave me a band. It's an elastic band, reflective. It goes around my arm.
It's nice.
So you put that on your left-hand arm.
Now, who gave this to you?
Well, somebody I can't remember.
Oh, I see.
The school kids, they have a reflective
they pay attention to these things.
Glass thing
that
they hook onto the shoulder.
Yeah.
So that as light hits
at least
it
it's
blinks.
something. Yeah.
So, but
doesn't cost much to get a little blinking light to put on your on your hat or something.
Another thing I think about, if somebody were out walking any place, out in the hills, and if they had dark clothing on, they're very hard to see.
Yeah.
So what happens if something happens to this guy? If he gets a heart attack, or he breaks a leg or something like that.
Yeah, you still don't see him.
And then they send out a search party with helicopters and whatever.
Right.
And they can't see him. So, I mean, to have some clothes on that are visible is so important.
It is. Good point. Thank you. So we talked a little bit about visibility. By the way, phone lines are open. We really appreciated in the first half hour, Roy and Dale calling really made this show fun for us. And I think more informative for all of you out there. And I think the same holds true for the second half hour, which we are in right now. So call us in the second half hour at 805-543-8830. Whatever you want to talk about, if you want to weave a little politics into, we don't usually do that, into that relating to cars, relationship issues, pet peeves, warning lights on, funny noises, car stories, car questions. If you have answers to any of the other questions that Roy or Dale brought up in the first half hour, we want to talk to you. And so call us, 543-8830. And, Thanksgiving's coming up on Thursday. People will be traveling. So number one, you want to have your car in good shape.
Oh, sure.
You want to think about that, like tires.
Yes.
And battery.
Oh, yeah.
Do all your lights work? So if you're due for a service, have it done before you go. But if you're not, then do your own little walk-around check, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Because first, we're going to talk to Heather from Arroyo Grande. Hi, Heather. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, and I always enjoy your show, so thank you for your information
Thank you.
Chatter.
You're welcome.
But my big concern is right now, this time of the year, is the afternoon sunsets. I'm in Arroyo Grande, and that sun is just blinding as you're driving, facing, west or all sorts of directions. But that's just another concern for people to realize that other cars might not even see you if they're facing that low sun. It is just blinding and very dangerous. So just a heads up on that.
Yeah, you got to have, that's real tricky when you get right into it. You got to have your visor just right. You got to have your sunglasses on. But when you hit it at the wrong angle, it's tough.
Yeah,
it is. Yes. It is. And you might end up in the wrong lane if you're turning them, some of the side streets. It's just a real concern. So I try not to drive that time of day, but sometimes when you do, it's like, whoa, hello.
I think they make some sunglasses that are anti-glare.
Yeah,
and they make some visors that you can put on that are anti-glare. And I think all of these things help. But I know last year a bicyclist was killed by a guy coming into the sun and didn't see them at all.
Yeah.
And I know there's accidents out on the road that happen all the time because of it. And I think it's a great point. I don't think we have any really great solutions to it.
Yeah, and Arroyo Grande, because I live in the South County, Arroyo Grande has quite a few roads that are really east-west too, because like Grand and stuff, and Farrell and those roads, and so you get it in the morning too.
Yeah,
if you're driving when the sun's coming up in the morning, sometimes you're pretty blinded too. So
you got to you as a driver, you slow down, make sure you got your visor set up and your glasses set up and all of that, and just take more caution.
It's like a pilot taking off with checking all his instrument panels.
Exactly.
Well, okay. Enjoy the show. Thank you. I'll keep listening.
Heather, thank you very much for your call. Good point. We appreciate it. Thank you.
The thing is, you have to change your route you drive. Like this coming here this morning,
I
changed my route. because I came down here on Broad Street and had to turn left on the Capitolio.
Sure, you got a bunch of choices you can make on the way in.
Then if somebody came up against me at 40 and 50 miles an hour with no headlights on, I wouldn't be able to see them. So I took off at the Orchid Road with the traffic light and turned left there.
Yeah.
And then went down to Sacramento and turned right there, and then I didn't have to cross the traffic.
So once again, what we're talking about is, what we keep on harping about is having 100% of your attention on the road. And that's what Heather said. She said it's kind of like being a pilot, and it really is. I mean, you want to take your driving seriously. It probably is the number one way that you could have a serious problem in your life.
Absolutely.
Because we drive every day, and you let your guard down, and it's probably when you're close to home and you let your guard down, and you either don't put your seatbelt on or you just don't think. You're just thinking about something else, or you're texting or whatever it is. And the more that you can be like a pilot.
Yeah.
You get in your car, you take it seriously. You look at your mirrors, you put your seatbelt on, and you say, "Okay, this is serious. I'm driving. I know it's a safety thing, and I'm going to give it 100% of my attention." I think that's a good way to look at it.
I'm going to drive now. That's the only thing I'm going to do.
The only thing I'm going to do.
The only thing I'm going to do now is drive.
Yeah.
Concentrate on the road and the traffic around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I mean, and the thing is that you drive down Santa Maria, and I drive at the time with mostly local traffic on the road. And boy, what a difference in sort of the discipline on the road with only local traffic.
Yeah.
But then goes to the weekends, and you get in LA, San Francisco traffic.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Well, I was even not practicing this too well coming in this morning.
Yeah.
And I figured, it reminds me that I have to, because it was really socked in coming in through Edna Valley this morning and Price Canyon, and I almost ran the red light.
Yeah.
Because I forgot, I just get so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And I see it
because you go on automatic, because that's what you do every day.
And I couldn't see the green light.
Yeah.
And I saw the yellow light come on, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Better pay more attention, Jim.
Yep. So, we always make, it's kind of a half joke, but we say, what is the biggest safety item? What is the best safety item on your car? And the answer is you, the driver.
Well, absolutely.
It's you, what you do, and the attention that you give to it, and the tools that you use in your driving. Yeah. And so the same thing holds true for your Thanksgiving trip. Those of you that are going to take a trip, is get your head screwed on straight when you're taking that trip.
Yeah.
Sit down, get in the cockpit, get things set up, and say, okay, this is all I'm going to do is drive.
Yes, exactly.
Pay, and be a great driver. Shift, downshift, and get engaged in it, and set your visors properly, and drive the speed limit, and watch out for other drivers, and stay out of the pack. I mean, there's so many things that you actually can do.
Yep. I drive. That's the only thing I do.
Let's talk to Don in Los Osos. Hey, Don. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I have a 2013 Smart electric car, and I'm having trouble finding a place locally to get it serviced. I used to take it to Santa Barbara, but it takes 9 hours to get to Santa Barbara because it's only got a range of 65 miles between charges.
Okay.
So, you know anybody who works on smart electric cars?
We would service that for you at Continental Motor Works, sure.
You will?
Yes. Now, I do want to be clear. If there's a warranty issue with that car, I know it's 5 years old now, but if there's something that you still have covered under warranty, which I think you're out of warranty on that.
I'm out of warranty.
Okay. So, yeah, it's regular, whatever we call a 5,000-mile service or a 6-month service. We could get you on a Car Care Club plan, and absolutely.
Okay. Continental Motor, where are you located?
You can give us a call at 805-541-1464. We're at 1101 Laurel Lane in San Luis Obispo at the corner of Laurel and Orchid. But if you call us, then we'll set you up an appointment and give you directions and talk to you about it. No problem.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
So have you had your smart car since new?
Yes.
So how has it been for you, Don?
My wife, I don't hardly ever drive it. My wife drives it all the time. And it is great. Run to San Luis Obispo and back Los Osos, San Luis Obispo, and back 2 times or more.
Yeah.
And but to get to Santa Barbara, and it takes a while.
Because you got to stop and charge, because it's fully electric, right?
Correct.
So it's 5 years old. Have you had any issues?
None.
So you haven't had to go into the dealer for any warranty, battery issue, nothing.
Nothing.
Electronic dashboard, computerization. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
You know, these electric cars, the electrical, the one charge up like I have.
Yeah.
We have to charge. They get about 30 miles, 25 miles to the charge. Okay, well, they get a meter on it that says I have 182 miles to the gallon.
Yeah. Of course, Matt has a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, that's a hybrid.
I understand.
Yeah.
This one's not plug-in. This is all electric.
Yeah, but think about the amount of money you've saved on gas and on maintenance.
Do you guys have
every
a maintenance
year
schedule that you know what the
I just recommend doing it every 6 months.
Well, they have an annual. They have a booklet with all the recommendations.
Yeah.
And I can print that out.
Absolutely, print it out, and we'll put it against our maintenance schedule, and we'll make a custom maintenance for your car. Absolutely.
Sounds great.
All right, Don. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Have a good holiday.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you know, people living in Los Osos and Morro Bay, and they work in San Luis Obispo. If they had an electric car or they have electric plug-in,
perfect solution for a commuter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Let's go to our second break of the day. We're the Motor Mouse. We're Matt and Jeff. We are here till 9 a.m. to talk with you about your car. The way that works is you call us at 805-543-8830. Hope to hear from you. We'll be back.
And we got another classic commercial from Texaco from 1979, Bob Hope, talking about gasohol.
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 Oh,
okay.
Is that something you drink?
Yeah, he's out in a cornfield here, actually.
Oh, he's out in the cornfield.
Oh, yeah.
So he's
doing in a field of corn, not growing it. Texaco's making gasohol. It's a mixture of 90% Texaco unleaded gasoline and 10% ethanol made from renewable crops like corn. Gasohol can't replace gasoline, but it can help stretch our available supply. And Texaco's selling gasohol in a number of states right now. Gasohol, one of the ways Texaco is working to keep your trust.
When it's time to service your car,
or a warning light is starting to glow,
go see the pros at Absolute Auto.
At the corner of Sacramento and Capitolio.
Having a problem with the brakes or the steering down below?
Or an alignment to adjust the tow?
Computer systems, they do know.
Call 543-8737 to reach Absolute Auto.
Your car's fuel economy was never better than when it was new. But time and miles have robbed your car of its MPG and performance. Service managers recommend BG44K to remove carbon and restore mileage in just 1 tank of fuel. In fact, dealerships nationwide use BG44K almost 3-to-1 over any other product. To find a shop at BG Products, go to bgfindashop.com.
BG. Can you imagine selling your car next week and saying to the buyer, hey, don't worry, because the engine is covered against failure for life. It's called the Lifetime Protection Plan for the Engine from BG Products. Now imagine having this huge benefit free with your next oil service when you remember these 2 letters, BG. BGMOA is available at over 20,000 shops nationwide. Find yours at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
BG. Hi, this is Jeff Spevack, Motormouth co-host and owner of Continental Motorworks. What can you expect here at Continental? We will treat you and your car with care and respect and gratitude. We will bend over backwards to earn your trust. You will fully understand what we are doing on your car and know how much it will cost before we do the work. You will always get value, a fair exchange. You work hard for your money. We believe we should work smarter and harder for what you pay us for. Now in our 36th year, we fix it all. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids.
Call Jeff at Continental Motor Works at 1464. Mention this ad and receive 10% off labor.
I've got plenty to be thankful for. I haven't got a great big yacht to sail from shore to shore. Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for.
Okay,
I
coming
gotta
back.
love the Bing Crosby.
I've got
Love it. We got Thanksgiving coming up, and we want to, of course, be thankful for our many years of being on the Motor Mouth Show, and we want to thank all of our listeners and all of our callers for making this a fun show. And also don't take your car. Taking things for granted. This is the time to not take things for granted. Thanksgiving.
I want to say something here.
Yes.
The guy called up about not the guy. His name, Don, called up about electric cars.
Yeah.
You in your shop have had electric car for how many? 10 years? 12? 15?
Well, I've actually had electric cars since 2000.
Since the year 2000?
2000.
So the first one you had, how long you have?
The RAV4 for 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, that electric car for 10 years.
And then I had a Leaf for another 7 years.
So, I mean, if you are into the electric cars and you need a place to have it serviced, well, Continental Motor Works has the experience to do that. And so keep that in mind. Continental Motor Works.
Thanks, Matt.
No, I mean that. If you get somebody that knows the car, that have been driving him and knows how they handle, knows what goes wrong with him.
What's pretty amazing is not much goes wrong with
That's
him.
right.
That's what's really amazing about it. But don't take that. Talking about taking it for granted, and what Don said I wanted to talk about. They said that Smart Car says come in once a year. I don't like once a year because you've got tires, you've got lights, you've got maybe corrosion going on with things. I like every 6 months.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because you don't put that many no matter how many miles you put on a car. And that most people in this area are in that boat that they don't put a lot of miles on their cars. We have a service plan at Continental Motor Works. It's called the Car Care Club, and you come in every 6 months, and we put a little sticker up in your windshield. And so we can put mileage and time in there. But that way, you're having somebody look at your, think about all the things that you take for granted on your car. And we're talking about Thanksgiving and not taking your car for granted and really paying attention to it and servicing it, especially if you're taking trips. So tires, brakes, suspension, steering. What if you have the beginning of a bad electrical connection and it's going to cause you a breakdown on the road? Or what if you have the beginning of a radiator leak? And so we notice that. Hopefully we don't notice anything and everything looks good, but you want somebody to be looking at all these details. Do you have a nail in your tire?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you have the beginning of a radiator hose starting to balloon?
Yeah.
Do you have a belt starting to crack? I mean, there's so many things on a car after it gets 5 years old that could be
My dad had that problem with his Mercedes.
Yeah.
And was driving around Santa Paula, came down back from Santa Paula and up through Santa Barbara, and car was running fine, and one of the fan belts broke on the way out of Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
So it cost him $400 to have the car towed.
Yeah.
When maybe you should just have had it gone through before he went out of town.
Yeah, so it probably ruined your trip, too.
Yeah.
And the other thing that a belt breaking, I mean, you think, okay, I just have to replace a belt, but sometimes the belt drives the water pump.
Yes.
And that'll overheat your engine. Or sometimes the belt gets caught in a pulley and it goes through your radiator.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden you've got a big expense that you didn't have to have just by doing proper preventative maintenance.
Well, I always also said that you should put the car on a hoist and get it up in the air so you can look underneath the car. I mean,
and how many times do we see bald tire on the inside?
Bald tires on the inside of the rear,
yeah.
And the exhaust system, holes in the exhaust system, and so that you don't know if you sit and idle, you might get poisoned.
And the peace of mind that it gives you on your trip, knowing that someone's had the car up in the air and rotated the tires and set the tire pressures and looked at everything, is great on your trip. I mean, you don't have to think, well, I'm not sure about that. I really haven't had anybody look at it. It takes the worry out of your drive, and it gives you a car that lasts longer.
The other thing we also talk about in the batteries. Especially now, you want to go skiing, for example, and your battery in your car is 5 years old.
Absolutely.
Put a new battery in. Don't even think about anything else. put a battery in before you go up in the cold, because if the battery is good right now, down here in San Luis Obispo, you get up in the air, at the 6,000, 5,000 feet, and cold, the battery ain't got to be good.
You got batteries, you got wiper blades, you got lights. How many times do we see somebody driving down the road with one headlight?
Oh, yeah.
All of those things. By the way, if you have a hybrid car and your battery, in your 12-volt battery is over 5 years old, replace it.
Absolutely.
So very important. So because that's going to take its toll on your hybrid battery. So, all of these things are stuff that we've talked about for many years, but the simple stuff still holds true. It's just about common sense and proper preventative maintenance and proper driving habits and getting your head screwed on straight when you're driving. So once again, we want to, say the same stuff that we've said before, because that's what really is important. And
how long have you been saying that now?
What, 26 years? 27
I
years?
know.
How many years?
24, 25.
Yeah?
Well, I've been on the show for about 7 or 8 years at least. Yeah. So you've been saying that every show pretty much since I've been on the show.
You're the young guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Probably, okay, yeah. But so I'm sure you've been saying it for 26 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds about right. So, okay, well, I guess we should just kind of close the show out. And I want to say thank you to our callers today. We had Roy and Dale and Heather and Don for making this a much more interesting and fun show for us. Our sponsors, longtime sponsors on the show, BG Products, you can look them up at bgfindashop.com, featuring great products like 44K fuel system cleaner, really the most superior fuel system cleaner I've ever seen. And they offer synthetic transmission fluid, which will extend the life of your transmission. You really change your trans fluid with that kind of fluid, you're never going to have to worry about your transmission. And also your other gear oils that go in your differentials and transfer cases. They offer synthetic products for that. Absolute Auto. They're Jason and Charlotte, family-owned, locally owned, excellent automotive service and repair. They're at the corner of Capitolio and Sacramento, featuring full automotive service and repairs and alignments. They have a alignment machine that can handle not only your cars, but trucks and RVs. And they do really a lot of interesting things. Call them at the shop and see what they can help you with. I'm sure they can help you and do it in a great way that'll make you happy. Continental Motor Works, we are at 1101 Laurel Lane. We are open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and you can reach us at 805-541-1464. And Bike Slow County, for the future of healthy transportation in our county, advocating for safe transportation, better bike lanes, better bike riders who obey the laws. We teach the kids in the school. We teach the adults. You can take an adult bicycling class and really become a much more aware, safer bike rider. So we really urge you to go and do that. All right, so it looks like the fog is starting to clear here. Just be careful out there. The visibility is a little bit weak here today, so use your headlights. You're coming up on Thanksgiving, so we want to make sure that you are the safe driver. And our number one safe recommendation for driving at Thanksgiving is leave early, drive the speed limit, enjoy the ride. Thanks again, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks again, Jim.
Thank you. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Have a great Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thank you.